Hi Mole Busters team, I am Paul Henderson and I want to congratulate you folks for celebrating 15 years in business. And I know you're a good team or you wouldn't have made it this far. I was fortunate to be a part of a great team also. Team Canada 1972, and next year we are celebrating our 50th anniversary, and I hope you are able to do the same thing. You know, in sports and in business there are times when you have to take serious risks to accomplish your goals. And I want to tell you about a serious one that I took in that series in 1972. It was an 8-game series, 4 games in Canada and then 4 games back in Moscow. And we got behind in that series and we had to win the last 3 games to win the series. And I was fortunate enough to score the winning goal in the 6th game. And then I scored, I think, the best goal of my life in the 7th game. Went through the whole team with about 2.5 minutes left to score the winning goal in that game to make the last game 8 even worthwhile. And so we get into that game, and after the second period, we were losing 5-3. And in between the second and third period, Ken Dryden, who played for the Montreal Canadiens, was our goaltender, and I went over and I tapped him on his pads and I said to him, Ken, if you board this thing up for us, we'll beat these Russians for you. And we went out there at the start of the third period, and Phil Esposito, who was our team leader on and off the ice, scored a goal the first shift of the third period to make it 5-4. And then Yvon Cornway, another Montreal Canadian, scored at the 12-minute mark to make it 5-5. And there was going to be no overtime played. And the Russians come down to our bench, and they told us that if the game ended up in a tie, both teams would have had 3 wins each and 2 would have ended up in ties. But at this point, they had scored 1 more goal than us, and they were going to claim victory in European hockey. That was the way it is. And so the game goes on. There's about, our line went out on the ice. We came off with about a minute and a half left in the game. And the coach, Harry Sinden, said, guys, if there's any time left, you finish it off. I knew I had to get out on the ice. And I stood up and I did something I never did before, and I never ever did it again. I started yelling at Peter Mahovlich to come off the ice. Peter, Peter. No one does that. The coaches do the changes. Thank goodness Peter Mahovlich thought it was a coach. Peter comes off. I jump over the boards, and Yvon Cornway has it at the far side, and I yelled at him. And I was hoping he'd throw it across like I could just one-time it into the top corner. But the pass was too far out in front of me, and I was going so fast, the defenseman tripped me, and I fell into the boards. And I remember thinking, I still have time. And I get out in front, and Phil Esposito swacked it at Tretiak, and the rebound come right to me, and I actually panicked. Oh, no. And I shot, and Tretiak, the goaltender, got it with his pad, came back, and I put it in the net, and I've been celebrating that for 50 years almost. And that goal that I scored was voted the sports moment of the last century, and we were voted as the sports team of the century. And I've been celebrating that for years, guys. And I hope that you can continue to do that also. But I want to tell you one last thing. When we were in Moscow, before the first game over there, John Ferguson was the assistant coach. And we had 12 Hall of Famers on that team. And we were skating around, and John Ferguson come over to me, and I was a good hockey player, I wouldn't have been there. And he said, Paul, we are really counting on you. We've got to win 3 of these last 4 games, and your assets are your speed and your shot, and we need you to score some goals. And I was skating around there, and I can remember it like yesterday. They've got confidence in me. And I don't know, it just gave me that self-confidence, and went out and scored the goal. And so from that time on, I've always tried to be an encourager to other people on the teams that I played for. And so I would encourage you guys also. Get up in the morning and say, I'm going to be a great team player, and I'm going to be an encourager of other people. And I guarantee if all of you do that, you'll be celebrating 50 years in business also. God bless you. Have a great day.